Rogue deciding that they feel the Catherine is stronger than the Grace at the moment. So, well, lost by tough. You want to be a playmaking captain. Grace is definitely one of the captains that can do so.
Yeah, absolutely. So Catherine and Grace going to be locked in. It's not often that we get to see both of them. Rhyme is going to be a ban once again.
Yeah, so we already see Tempo coming in with a very clear strategy to take Pawn the Original off of his comfort picks by banning Cruel, banning Rhyme. I would expect their first pick on the second rotation to be a character or a hero that Pawn the Original plays so that they can lock him out of even more heroes to play. The Catherine, I'm very excited to see Evil on it. Glaive Band comes through. So far, 2 of the strongest junglers are already taken off.
And
Black Feather is open.
A key thing is that 4 junglers have been banned away here. So the jungle pools are really going to be tested coming on into this game.
Yeah, and assuming that Tempo Storm are going to continue to try and target upon the original, maybe something like Black Feather is their pick here to take him off the board. And again, this is now 5 junglers, or at least potential junglers, that have been taken away from Rogue. And so Pawn's going to have his hero pool stretched here. Going to have to showcase that he does have a deeper hero pool than what we have seen thus far.
Absolutely. And now Rogue with the double pick available to them, but Baptiste is still on the table. They've already got that Catherine
and Idris.
So there is a potential for that serious powerhouse composition.
While Baptiste is still open and combines really well with Catherine, it's not a hero that you usually put Pawn the Original on, not traditionally at least. So if he goes for it, it's going to be a little bit surprising to me. It still would be extremely strong with the composition, but I expect him to go for something a little bit different. As far as his hero pool, there aren't too many things left other than the Grumcha that we saw last weekend. Didn't work too well, so they might still go for it again.
We'll see which direction they want to go in. Running out of bonus time at this point, so they've got to make that snap decision fairly shortly. And then over towards the lane, there's still a huge amount of picks available. Scarf will be the lock-in coming through for them, but that obviously can go to the lane or it can go to the jungle as well, so we'll see where they choose.
Yeah, it's definitely up in the air and something that they will have to basically pick of, do they think that the Black Feather is going to be in the lane or the jungle and then try and match it up based on that, or you pick someone else that can flex. That is not someone who's likely to flex. That's going to be a Grump Draw almost certainly going into the jungle for Pawn the Original, that early aggressive type hero with the Scarf then as the late game carry to sort of back it up once we get deep. And
here we go, boys.
Reza
has been locked in. This is the first time we've ever seen it. Very good at diving, very high mobility. For anyone at home that's maybe just not played against Reza yet, obviously this is still a new hero. Do you guys want to explain what Reza does for any viewers at home?
So what I'm expecting is Reza to go into the jungle. He's a very strong mid-game and late-game hero, especially if God of Sins goes for the Storm Guard, Aftershock, Broken Myth build. It's a high cooldown, high utility build, but also does a lot of damage just because Reza holds a lot of base damage. The only thing is they're picking it against Grumcha, who's extremely strong early game. So if Pawn the Original plays aggressive and shuts down Reza, this can turn out very well for Rogue. On the other hand, Tempo have a very strong late game comp.
All right, we'll see if they can get to that late game. We've got to get on into this game. I know you guys are dying to talk about Reza, but it's time to pass it over to our casters. Hashtag Vainglory8. Let us know. Tweet about the Reza pick. Let your friends know. Get everyone into the stream. It's time to pass it once again to Sean Austin and Humanist.
Reza? What is happening? I don't know. What teams are playing? Oh, yeah. It's Rogue versus Tempo Storm. I got too excited here. I didn't expect the Reza to come out. Sean and Stino. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, Humanist. I think that's a word of the day for me. Interesting. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fascinating to see God of Sins on this Reza pick here for Tempo Storm. Reza, an interesting pickup. He hasn't seen that much play. And it's because he, especially when he first came out in 2.7, he really he needed a buff, you know, and we have gotten a little bit of a buff for him. He does have some interesting stuff in his kit. He's got his Firestarter heroic perk, so he applies that every time he does either his Scorcher or his Nether Form detonator attacks. With his Troublemaker, that detonates the Firestarter perk, or Firestarters that are applied. Looks like we're gonna have some aggression here.
I don't know how to play this one, team. I'll do my best. Haven't got to cast any Reza before, but God of Sins gonna have some fun. Of course, God of Sins kind of came in as a sub last week. We're seeing him here again, and maybe this is just kind of a wild card that Tempo Storm are pulling out here, or something that they've practiced. But either way, I think Rogue have a strong composition of their own to face up exactly what Tempo Storm is trying to do. Hammy, of course, we've seen him on the Scarf in the past. He's just an absolute monster. One of the things I'm seeing with this Reza pick here, is that if Pawn the Original does get in there and try to stuff up a target or get into the back lines, he could easily just use another form detonator, go, disappear for a second, reappear somewhere else.
Yeah, I would hope he does that. Also, Troublemaker could be one of those abilities, that's his B ability, that he uses to actually either chase down targets or disengage really quickly. Those are one of the things, kind of like the Sonic Zoom, that we could see. Oh, there's a little bit of an engage here.
Little bit of an engage. They're playing some games here. Pawn is gonna move up. He's gonna probably use that Grumpy on the Gaspy. Yeah. He just moves back just enough. Lost Boy would be able to help him out, but you see Mini Candy even coming out of Rogue here. This is going to buy them an opportunity to rotate, maybe down potentially as 2. Evil thinking about hanging around in the lane, but eventually will go and follow Pawn. Pawn clears that the right Tri-Brush, and that shows him that he can move and take this Elder Treant for free.
Yeah, this is going to be some good gold experience and regen heading over to Upon the Original right there. But, it looks like Hammy's going really low.
Yeah, Hammy, it's all calculated in the end here. Hammy staying alive, though. His boots are going to be on cooldown.
So, getting back to Reza, his ability Troublemaker is actually a very fun ability to use because it can get you in and out of really sticky situations or into engages as well. Looks like Gaspy is getting a little bit of aggression from Evil here. But with God of Sins, I would hope he can disengage from Grumpjaw's really well. Grumpjaw's jaws really well. And I could hope that he could go ahead and chase down Hammy if Hammy's trying to get away, and he's actually pretty low if he goes low on health.
Oh, they're playing the games down in the jungle. Lost Boys here. They're on to Pawn. God of Sins, show me how to play Reza right now. There's your Scorcher. He's going to move back. Look at the repositioning with the Troublemaker. It's actually quite effective, I think, against the Grumpjaw.
Yeah, that's what actually we were talking about. And what's actually cool about Troublemaker 2 is it actually has 2 charges to it, unlike the Sonic Zoom that Vox actually has, where it's just 1 charge and it has to go in. Oh, there's some aggression on the Hammy.
Oh, Benediction. God of Sins. I don't think the Scorcher connected there. Yeah, that probably puts Hammy down very close to death, but he's going to get out of that one.
Yeah, if we did have his Scorcher actually connect on the Hammy, apply some of that Fire Starter perk, then when the Troublemaker connects, that's where we're going to be able to get some good bonus damage onto Hammy. That's probably one of the win conditions that we're going to see here coming out of Tempo Storm is they've got to get those Fire Starter perks applied onto their targets, and then they can burst them down a lot easier that way.
It's going to be hard for them to do, I think, especially if Evil sees them moving forward. Now, God of Sins, gets the Troublemaker off with the Grumpy from Pawn. They're moving forward. God of Sins getting lit up. The goop is down. And first blood for Rogue, as they just completely misread that situation.
They did, and that's one of the things about Reza is that he's extremely, extremely squishy. I remember we had there were some issues with him being too squishy, and they actually had to do a hotfix update back in 2.7. But still, he's just one of these jungle mages. He's a CP carry, and you can't build him really any other way. He's going to have to go for a lot of sustain in his kit. After getting, he's going to have to go for an Eve of Harvest at some point, and that'll allow him to better sustain throughout battle to be able to keep up the regen on his energy as well.
Well, he's not building into that right now. Looks like he's going to get an Aftershock, maybe something else, but we'll see where he goes with that. I think it makes sense the way you're kind of breaking that one down there. Gaspy taking a lot of damage with Hammy, putting in work with these Spitfire Goop combos here. Lost Boy just kind of has to wait for his moment there. Pawn moves, takes the mid away from God of Sins. God of Sins, Scorcher's down, Troublemaker back. He's playing very defensively. Lost Boy did have to use the Benediction to get himself into a good position there, but Tempo Storm on the back foot. Rogue as a team. Pawn has his ultimate available. He's going to move forward. There you go. He's got his ultimate stuffed up. He gets back. He's going to go ahead and spit out Lost Boy there. Lost Boy holds his ground. They're trading damage back for the fountains out from both teams, trying to stay alive through this. And you see Gaspy only level 5. He really couldn't do too much. He just trade his basic attacks.
Yeah, that was an interesting team fight, and that's actually something that's really cool with Pawn the Original's Grumpjaw right now, is that he can actually, when he stuffs up people, not only does he take them out of the fight, but he can reposition them so easily. We saw there that he grabbed them from the jungle, in the actual Tempo Storm's jungle, and moved him over to the Mustache Bush. Really good repositioning, but they just weren't able to capitalize right then.
Not just then. And of course, God of Sin's not incredibly strong right now. He's going to have to continue to itemize, get his levels, but right now, being level 6, let's see if he's going to use this ultimate here. Maybe, I thought he was actually caught. I was going to say maybe he uses it to get out and reposition, but he's doing okay. God of Sins, he has a lot of gold to spend. See what he completes.
He does. I hope, yeah, he grabbed that Aftershock, just like you were talking about, Humanist. And the Aftershock is actually a really good item that works well with Reza's heroic perks. So not only is he going to be able to do bonus damage with the Firestarter and Troublemaker combination, but because he has Aftershock on him too, he's going to be able to get additional bonus damage on top of that.
Bonus damage is so good. Lost Boy moving forward. Scorcher's down. Going to pawn. You see, Goddess Sins, he applies the Scorcher and then just Troublemaker's back ways. Consistently just being a nuisance. But he's out of charges on that. I almost feel like he's kind of wasting that Troublemaker there.
Yeah, he's using them to get out of the fights, which is what he needs to do because he's so squishy right now. Maybe once he scales up, he gets a little bit more health, gets that Eve of Harvest sustain, he'll be able to dive into combat more. But as of right now, he's going to have to use those defensively. And I feel like Rogue knows this, and that's why they're pressuring him so much.
Well, what's the play? Scorcher's down onto Pawn. Pawn just ripping God of Sins up. Now Gaspy's over the wall. Lost Boy's there. Holy Nova! Why'd you do it? That's not what you wanted, Lost Boy. A bad play coming out here. Maybe it was just a bit of a misplay, we could call it. Pawn, the healing flask clutch right at the end. Allowing Gaspy to get out of this one. He just didn't want to chase. Evo will get hit with another on point. Gaspy, of course, kind of predicting that the Cat's going to chase there. A nice aggression, and now it's 2-0 for the Way of Rogue.
8 minutes in, 2-0 going for the Way of Rogue. They have one turret taken from Tempo Storm. This is an interesting predicament that they're in. They need to scale up a little bit more. We need to have Gaspy is going to be able to stick to targets. We know that he wants to stick to Scarf. He needs to be able to get him down, burst him down, take him out of the fights. God of Sins, he needs to get a little bit tankier, build that Eve of Harvest, get some more CP damage. We know that Reza can be really bring the pain if he's able to get his full build. So once he's able to do that, we're going to be able to see him come online. But as of right now, him being at level 8, he's up his Troublemaker completely. He's overdriven it. So that's going to help him more with that engage and disengage from combat.
He's definitely been... it does feel like the Sonic Zoom quite a bit. I was going to say, this is Sonic zooming around. No,
it's a fire zoom.
He's making trouble, yes. And God of Sins, we'll see if he can execute on this Reza here. Shortly enough. Now, Lost Boy kind of uncharacteristically went down very quickly in that last fight, before I think even the Holy Nova quite connected. So he'll probably play this a little bit safer, realizing that so much damage is coming out. Pawn does have this Tyrant's Monocle ready to go with the Tension Bow. He has huge burst damage if he gets on target. Looks like they're chasing. Evil finds the stun onto Gaspy, moves for it. He's going to find the stuff, but a nice blast tremor coming through will be blocked off. Actually, Lost Boy moves in. Now he's got the good Holy Nova positioning. Gaspy wants Hammy, gets the Divine Intervention. Hammy trying to kite back. Hammy dropping low. They've got the baby dragon, Sean Ostino. Now it's Rogue on the run. Pawn will go grumpy over the wall. Evil left dead, and a double kill comes through for Gaspy, who just completed his breaking point and was able to stack that up just for a little bit. So Reza, part of a winning fight.
Very nicely done with that team fight. We actually saw that once Hammy was in trouble and he was bursted down, there was nothing that Rogue could do about it. If they just take Hammy out of the fight each time. Oh, Godson's going low.
Goddesson's very low. Pawn came in there and flexed, and you can see Goddeson just try to stand his ground, but he couldn't handle the damage coming out of this Crumbjaw.
Pawn the Original can do a lot of damage, Humanist. He's got that Tension Bow, Tyrant's Monocle online now, and he's getting up there. He's at level 10 right now, so he's scaling up very well. Once he gets into fights, he's got that Bruiser. Grumpjaw's got that Bruiser kit, so he's able to sustain and just fight really well. Looks like they're working on this Gold Miner here, but once he gets in your face, repositions you could be in a world of hurt from this Grumpjaw.
Yeah, world of hurt indeed, especially if they're able to really combo it up. Like, you know, you come out right into Spitfire Goop combos. Maybe you come out right into a stun, come out right into a blast tremor. So yeah, they could definitely light a target up here. Pawn really coming into his own. He's got a little bit of gold in his pocket, but also sitting on a weapon infusion. So if they get into a skirmish, even if he's not really ready for it, he can pop that weapon infusion.
Yeah, especially once he gets up to level 11, that's going to give him even more bonus damage on top of that. We do see that there's actually, it looks like is that an Echo picked up by Evil? So If that is, he's going to be able to do some double blast tremors coming out, and that's going to be some good crowd control. The side of Rogue actually has tons of crowd control right now. The repositioning with the stuffed, the blast tremor coming out, the merciless pursuit, the goop even. That's a lot of CC that Tempo is going to have to deal with. And I feel like what's good about Tempo right now is they have this dive comp. They're going to be able to dive in, but two of their members are just a little bit too squishy right now. So Gaspy's going to be needing to get his on points to get that barrier up, and then God of Sins actually needs to get to scale up and get some more damage out of his kit and his items. Then he's going to be able to do some serious hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but you see the way that Tempo's moving. It's like they're waiting for an on point to land where they can follow. It really feels like Tempo's looking for an engage, and there goes Lost White. But Pawn with the immediate stuff onto God of Sins. Gaspy's in deep, trying to find the damage. Blast Tremor will come through. Nice stun comes out the other way. Fine intervention out onto Gaspy. Hammy dropping low, standing in the Spitfire. It's ignited. He has the damage. They've got one. They've got two. Trading Pawn and Hammy able to get one there. Lost White goes over the wall with the Benediction. And if he can play this really sweetly, he maybe gets himself out. Actually, I don't really think that's going to happen. Evil waiting with the stun here. There's the stun. Pawn moves forward with the Grumpy. Holy Nova comes out, but not really connecting. That's a nice ace for Rogue.
That was a nice hit for Rogue. If that Merciless Pursuit wasn't up, then we could have probably seen Lost Boy Top get away. And look at this, turret going down and Gaspy's coming out. But that's one of the great things about Grace, is that she has that high movement speed, especially for such a tanky hero, right? For this captain hero. She's able to get away from a lot, especially with her benedictions. And we're actually going over to a replay now. So we're looking at this last team fight. They were actually really, Tempo was actually hiding back looking for that fight, and they didn't have the on-point land, but once they actually engaged, they were all focusing on Hammy. They just kept going after this weak Scarf. But good thing about Scarf is he's able to throw down these burning groups right underneath himself, and when he does that, anybody who's coming in for melee damage, they're going to get burnt to a crisp.
Yeah, that was really good. I like to see that Hammy, of course, just trusting in his teammates, trusting in his positioning, and just sitting right there, applying that damage. So really nice plays coming out of Rogue, putting them up 5-3, 13.5 minutes in here. They have a nice little net worth lead that they've built up. And if they can keep up this tempo, they should be taking game one here.
If they can keep up this tempo on Tempo Storm. How ironic.
I was just gonna leave that one alone. I didn't know how to bring it home, team. But I
brought it to you, Humanist.
Yeah, you did. Down in the jungle. Did they find Pawn? Well, they found Pawn. Did they catch Pawn? No, they didn't. Pawn the original. He's out of there. Gaspy on point into the brush. He'll get hit with a Spitfire. Stunned up. Pawn's moving in. He's got the Hangry. 303 attack. Oh, look at the damage coming out. Divine Intervention out onto Gaspy. God of Sins. He's zooming around. Troublemaker. Netherform Detonator actually coming out here. Dragon's Breath. Burn, baby, burn. They're stacked on top of each other. Tempo Storm finding the kill that they wanted. And now Gaspy on the chase. Gaspy's going to boot forward. On point, off the mark. God of Sins. Show me your Troublemaker. Oh, you're all out. Uh-oh. Evil. He's taking the damage. The on point slowing him down. Moving forward. Evil probably goes down. Benediction as well. They got everything in the kitchen sink coming through. And Ace coming through with Tempo Storm. They'll take the Crystal Sentry as well. Sean Ostino, what a fight.
Yeah, what a fight. Very nice reward for them to take the Crystal Sentry at the end of it. And what we actually saw right there was God of Sins did wait for his Troublemaker to come online. Let's take a look at the replay. And it actually looks like there was a little bit of burning going on with that goop, but once everybody dove in, there was a little nom-nom action there. Once everybody dove in, there was just everybody was just on top of each other. That Holy Nova did a lot of work to stun up the members of Rogue. Once they did that, they were able to just take the fight and snowball it.
Snowball it indeed. Oh, we see Gaspy able to get himself out of here. This guy's kind of trading back and forth. God of Sins a little bit further back than he'd probably like to be, but just using that Troublemaker. I really like this ability. It's one of the greatest mobility abilities we have in the game. It is really clean.
Yeah, and it has 2 charges to it. Also, that's the best thing about it. You know, like we usually have like mobility abilities in people's kits. Like we have the Sonic Zoom, we have the combat roll coming out of Lance, but they don't have 2 charges on them though. Having this Troublemaker reposition God of Sin so easily around the jungle and the lane is what's actually coming online for him late game right now. It's allowing him to chase down targets, and he's got more damage in his kit. He's sitting on top of a broken myth right now with that aftershock. I want to see him pick up some more CP damage. Hopefully he'll be able to get an Eve of Harvest so he can get some more sustain in these fights. And it looks like there's a lot of vision down, and they've spotted out Rogue in that mustache bush.
Yeah, they've been spotted out, and you know, God of Sins with this broken myth, if he can get that stacked up a little bit, I think that'd be hugely beneficial for them. But he's got to be careful. I mean, he's in and out. Oftentimes we see him so quickly with that Troublemaker. He's going to have to linger around. It's going to put a lot of pressure on Lost Boy, who Lost Boy's been focusing on keeping Gatsby alive through these fights. These guys have to react so incredibly quickly. Tempo moving forward. Rogue sitting in that top brush, waiting for someone to move within range. Pawn the original, he is ready to eat somebody. He's hungry, team. He's not hangry yet, but he's hungry. Hungry for a win. Look at the Scorcher coming out. The on points consistently down the brush. Pawn gets connected with that Scorcher. It's coming out. Not too much damage. Now Lost Boy with Benediction. Holy Nova off the mark. Kind of a swing and a miss. Goop is down. Super slowing up Goddess. And you see that Goop slow is so strong. You really have to be careful.
Very robust. Yeah, we need to see, if you actually look at God of Sins, he's got 0, 2, and 6 right now for his KDA. He's not killing anybody, but he's getting a lot of work done in the assists range, okay? So he's doing quite a bit of damage, but the people who are finishing them off, executing, is Gatsby on this Black Feather. He's able to dive in there with that Vein of Heart and finish people off. Lost Boy Top has gotten some good kills as well with, you know, the Benedictions. Holy Nova is being able to stun people up and do a lot of damage in that AoE.
And we'll be looking for the double Divine Interventions, the double Blasphemers, maybe a double Merciless Pursuit. We'll see how it plays out here. Now Gatsby, you know, he's just trying to farm the lane, but eats the Spitfire damage coming out of Hammy, and the damage really starting to ramp up as this Scarf has 4 offensive items. Incredible damage coming out right now, and Hammy's only going to get stronger, and he's just waiting. It looks like they need a little gold to go ahead and get an infusion on him, but once Rogue get that, they should be ready to go.
Yeah, this is a really dangerous game that Tempo Storm is actually playing here, because if they get... well, we already see Hammy with a lot of damage out. He's got 4 tier 3 items already on himself. He is going to be able to burn them down, melt them down into nothingness on the Halcyon Fold here, and it's just a dangerous situation that Tempo is in. I feel like they need to be aggressive, but they kind of want Rogue to get over aggressive, make some mistakes, and once they do that, they can capitalize on it, apply some of that Firestarter, do some of that Netherform detonator, and just take out Hammy. Once they take out Hammy, it's going to be a lot harder for Pawn the Original to focus any of these carries from the side of Tempo Storm.
There's a lot of weight on Pawn's shoulders at the moment. Hammy throwing Spitfires, the Spitfire machine gun at this point. The Goop's down. Lost Boy's in. He says, go, team, go! Holy Nova does connect here onto Evil. The chase is on. Gatsby wants Hammy, but Hammy kites back. Now God of Sins with another form detonator gets into position here. Nice Blast Timber coming through. Divine Intervention will come out onto Gatsby. Hammy dropping low. Gatsby's got breaking point stacks. Looks like Tempo Stormer doing it. God of Sins will go down, but Lost Boy and Gatsby should be able to clean this one up. Pawn, there's nowhere to go. Here, Grumpy. He'll be a little more grumpy after that one. Evil, he's going to wait here in the brush. Gatsby taunting Gatsby. Come on, buddy. No.
That was a really good team fight, Humanist. They did exactly what they needed to do. They dove in with that Benediction. They focused down on Hammy, and even though God of Sins was going so low, the Divine Intervention came out. The patience that it takes for Lost Boy Top to do that, it's unbelievable. And it looks like we're still going to be contesting this Kraken here with Evil, just messing with them with those Merciless Pursuits.
It feels like Evol's winning. I gotta be honest right now. He used that infusion. Now Lost Boy's dropping low. Evil's gonna move in here. Oh, look at that. Evil making the plays, thwarting the Kraken capture single-handedly. Very nice plays.
If we look at this game so far, it kind of looks like you would see the score and see 6-8. It's in favor of Tempo Storm. Not too big of a difference. But if you look at the net worth, we actually see almost a 4,000 gold lead difference for the side of Rogue. And there's 2 turrets down for Tempo Storm. If Rogue can just continue to play a little bit cleaner, protect Hammy a little bit better, this looks like a protect the carry kind of comp. They're going to be able to come out on top of this game. We're 21 minutes in. This is a very long match, and as you know, when you get Scarf to late game, he's just going to melt right through you if he's protected.
He really will, but this is Reza we're talking about here, Sean. Okay?
This is Reza.
The untapped potential coming out here. God of Sins has figured it out.
He's coming online right now, but I'm actually gonna question this a little bit because he's got a piercing shard. So it looks like he wants to pierce through that Aegis that Hammy's got, but he's gonna have double piercing shard on him. I would have went for more of the sustain, and there's the
Lost
engage.
Boy says go. Oh. All right, red light.
Well,
red light. Lost Boy's playing in a red light green lane with his team here, and kind of trolling us out there. And Gaspy's gonna move forward, stunned up. On point did connect. Lost Boy's right back in with the benediction. Blast Shimmer connects onto 3. Evo winds up. A second Blast Shimmer coming through. Now the Dragon's Breath. Gaspy's getting melted down. They're gonna lose the Black Feather. Pawn spits out Lost Boy to the edge of the fight as God Ascends falls, and Tempo Storm get picked apart and eaten alive. Rogue should be cleaning up the ace here very shortly. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. They'll be able to take the Kraken off the backside of that one as well. What a clean fight.
they'll be able to take the Kraken Humanist, and very quickly, I might add. Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay. So right here, we see the engage from Lost Boy Toff, and as soon as he did that, we see a reposition from Evil. He gets into that bush, and he actually, I'm waiting for it. He's got Firestarter applied to him, and they're just doing a lot of poking here. It doesn't seem like anybody's going to be doing anything. He gets a stun off on the Blackfeather, but once he does, he throws from the bush. He throws the Blast Tremor out, and that's
so
where
good.
it all went wrong. You
That is so
cannot.
good.
It was so good. You cannot go up against Catherine with her Blast Tremor late game. She's so tanky, and there goes the Kraken unleashed on the leash for Rogue.
43 Captain of the Guard stacks for Evil as well. This guy is tanky. Pawn's been doing great on this Grumshaw. And we saw the Cruel, the Rhyme taken away. This is, I mean, Pawn's probably next go-to hero is the Grumshaw. Not a lot of people playing it, but he's really doing great. Let's see what Rogue can do, marching forward, Kraken at full health. You see Tempo Storm looking for an opening, but they've been spotted out with the Flare. Lost Boy moves in with the Benediction. Gaspy, he's on to Pawn. He gets hit with the Spitfire. He's going to rethink this, moving backwards. Evil can get in position here. He has Blast Shimmer plus the Echo ready to go if he decides to pull the trigger. But you have to remember the Kraken's marching forward. Like, Tempo Storm, you're going to... Okay, now is where you may have stayed a little too long. You have to fight. You have to fight now, team. They're going to jump in. Gaspy, he's over onto Hammy. Hammy trying to kite back. He's doing pretty good. With the Scorcher, the huge burst damage coming out. God of Sins plus Reza doing it. A nice Blast Shimmer coming out of the brush there will silence up Tempo Storm. His Pawn tries to get himself out of this one, but Pawn's doing just fine because the Kraken is taking your base. Tempo Storm will be able to get back after taking Hammy out, but my goodness, this is decision-making at its finest.
I think it was well worth it for
Oh,
Rogue
they're gonna look to
Hammy.
end this.
Oh, they're over. They're
I
in the
think they
base.
can do it. If they can really do it. Pawn, he's onto the Vein Crystal. They have the damage. Evil's there. He's got the Storm Guard out as well. Crack is still alive, and Rogue have done it. Unbelievable.
Wow, really good decision making coming out of Rogue. So they lost Hammy in that last team fight, but you know what? It was worth it because they baited out the side of Tempo Storm to stay outside of the base and allow the Kraken to destroy everything. Kudos to Rogue.
Yeah, incredible play out of Rogue. Excited to see them in more games here. It's going to be really good.